Very good evening to all my dear friends. Today we have in this proper stock of NABARD 2022 yet another successful candidate. He hails from Chandrapur of Maharashtra and his name is Akshay. So we will know more about him from himself, right Akshay? And
Yes.
my heartiest congratulations to you Akshay for making it to NABARD 2022 select list.
Thanks a lot, sir.
So Akshay, if we just go into the history of yours in this NABARD examination, so which attempt was this when you appeared this year for this examination?
So this was my first attempt of NABARD, and I was fortunate enough to clear it in through general history.
Very good, very good. So definitely your story would motivate many freshers this year who think that it's not their cup of tea for the first time. So definitely your story will motivate them as well. So if you go to your educational background, so what you have pursued in your graduation?
Sir, I did my major in economics, um, and just to let other aspirants know, I may be a fresher in NABARD, but I am a veteran in UPSC. So that kind of adds up the things for me.
Yeah, so your UPSC knowledge, whatever you've gained in this year from 17 onwards,
Yes,
would have definitely helped in this field because we will see the your story of yours will also motivate many of the UPSC aspirants because they are giving their fourth attempt, fifth attempt. So in selection in UPSC depends upon many factors we know when we prepare it, and it does not convert. So we should take some plan, other plan, and we should try to work on it and again go to the UPSC with a peace of mind. I think this strategy also works for many.
yes, sir. Speaking of again going back to UPSC, I'm still in the that celebratory mode right now. So I haven't thought about it. But yes, sir. After 3 4 attempts, it becomes exhausting. You become lethargic, and you need a plan B at that instant. And NABARD it really offers a very good alternative.
Right, right. Because ultimately, the main goal of both is in development of society, and NABARD also caters to that very all goal. So now coming on to this mode of examination, you being the field of economics and you have some experience in UPSC as well. So that's a good thing to know. So how do you strategize yourself for the prelims examination, or just it was kept going with your UPSC knowledge only, or you referred something special for something agriculture, or your knowledge only helped you? So what was your strategy basically for the phase one of the examination where you are going for both qualifying and maid sections?
Sir, my strategy was rather than going for, I had a very limited time because even last year I had my UPSC Civil Services mains to go for. The mains was around the corner, and the phase one was also a month before that. So I had very limited time. I had just 2 3 days. But fortunately, the UPSC prelims also got over some 1.5 months before that. So I had my notes ready. Speaking of ESI, I had my notes ready. Speaking of the merit section, ARD was a bit tough for me, but I went through the probable topics, say agri census, livestock census. I made a fact on one page. I used to discuss it with my friends and all. So I and the static part I couldn't. I just watched few videos, few on important topics, and I tried. And yes, and the general awareness section. I went through the marathon sessions on the YouTube, and yes, sir, that was it because that was the best I could do in that limited amount of time. I did that, and regarding the the qualifying section, reasoning, quant, computer awareness, English. Sir, I gave this full-fledged attempt of EPFO, uh,
Mhm.
which also caters to these all subjects. I did that well. So that preparation also helped me a lot, including the computer awareness. So I just took out my old notes, I revised them, and that worked well for clearing the phase one exam for me.
Okay, so for any UPSC candidate, because there are plenty of UPSC candidates preparing uh, for UPSC. So what would be your message to them after giving them three? As you said, it becomes exhausting. So how they can synchronize their study in UPSC and this NABARD? What similarity do you find between this both the papers of NABARD and UPSC?
Sir, from 2021, there has been the phase two exam has been descriptive. That has been a boon for the civil services aspirants. So if you are in the process, honestly, if you are writing the answers, your answer writing skill would be above average, I would say, relatively to that of the other banking professional exam. So uh, and also you do other things. You write essay, you do all the stuff which is required for that exam. The only ghost which haunts you is the ARD section. In agriculture, there is a special that of the static part. But as you know, this is a competitive exam. You just have to outperform others. Static questions are such that even the graduate in agriculture are finding it difficult to solve.
Right.
So that kind of evens it out for everyone. But all you need to do is you just have to hold on to the current affairs. You would just have to identify the probable topics, and you are. I think that would help you in getting in fetching good marks there.
Okay, in preparation of UPSC, Akshay, there is one paper of GS3, right?
Yes, sir.
So GS3 and NABARD, I think there are many similarities in these two papers. So anybody who has a strong GS3 paper would definitely help them. So how did you compare GS3 and the NABARD's many questions they ask, or how it helps GS3 paper in NABARD?
GS3 has helped me a lot. I had my notes ready for the agronomy section which we have in GS3. It caters to the sections like cropping pattern, PDS, and whatnot. This technology in the aid of farmers. Okay, so I had this other backward and forward linkages. So for the phase two exam, I strictly stuck to those notes. I had my facts ready. I had everything in place. And fortunately, there was a question on PDS. I also made certain further points regarding if any scheme comes, what would be, there are certain common challenges which every scheme has, or certain way has. So I applied it on this Matsya Sampada Yojana, and also I had committees ready for them. We have Shanta Kumar committee for PDS. We have Meena Kumari committee for PDS. So it became a cakewalk for me because, and fortunately, the expected questions came. So
Hmm.
GS3 was really helping a lot, if especially in the phase two exam.
Okay, so just after the phase one of the examination, there is some time span for the phase two. So you are sure that you'll get selected and you'll be writing the phase two, or you started your preparation little bit also just after the result of phase one?
Sir, after phase one, like I said, I was preparing for the UPSC mains. So I again shifted to UPSC, and after my UPSC mains got over, I went to my hometown. I didn't expected ki, matlab, I gave the exam and I forgot. And there was a family emergency. I had my mother had to go a spine surgery, so I was there in Nagpur. And when I came back in Pune, I saw the call letter just 10 days before the exam. So that was kind of dramatic. My story of NABARD going into NABARD is very dramatic. So I had only 10 days now. So within 10 days, I knew I had this capability. I can write good answers. But the only problem was ki I had this practice of writing with pen and paper mode. This
Right.
typing mode was difficult for me. So I worked upon this 10 days. Within the time limit, I tried to type those answers, and it worked well for me then.
So Akshay, see, story of Akshay is important for all those UPSC aspirants, especially. Uh, how is he smartly carved out his information or knowledge from UPSC to write this examination? And not only writing this examination, but he has also succeeded with that knowledge what he had during his UPSC preparation. So that shows his serious preparation for UPSC as well. And he smartly used that. So a smart strategy, I think, would help definitely many other aspirants, Akshay, in coming years. Yes. So, and one more paper is there, English paper, that you have to write. You are writing essay and all. That's okay. That is a different genre of writing in UPSC and getting marks. But IBPS English a little bit different in writing in a computer with keyboard and all. So how you catered to that English paper? Just you went and wrote everything, or just you had some typing practice for that English as well?
Sir, I that too my background. I had CBSE. I'm from the CBSE school, so we used to have projects. Fortunately, from our time, there was this continuous comprehensive evaluation program started. So we were asked to write many essays, letters, précis at that time, even stories. So I had this knack for writing better essays and better things. The problem was still the typing this thing and also completing the English paper. I knew that I could write, so I just went through the format. What was the ideal format for everything, and I made sure that I made sure that I put some relevant quotes. I had some quotes ready for the essay, agriculture related, MS Swaminathan ho ya fir baki और कोई हो agriculturist. I tried to, in the conclusion or something, or ऐसे, and yes, लेकिन मैंने, sir, I did a lot of practice because I was very weak in typing. I could type with only one hand, so that was the case with me. So
That's great. That's great. I think this also is a fearful factor for many of the aspirants. They message me, they ask me, सर मुझे तो नहीं आता टाइप करना, I do not know typing, सर 10 स्पीड है 20 स्पीड है. So अक्षय कर सकते हैं. He's saying that he used to type on single hand, right, Akshay? And with practice and consistency, whatever he has done before exam only, as you can listen to the story that you have not dedicated to NABARD preparation earlier. So if he can do that, you people also do not have fears of that we will not be able to type in the keyboard. If he can do that, you people also can do that. His story definitely motivates such people also. So coming on to this final round, the interview phase, when you went in the front of the board members. So how was your experience? Did they ask you something related to UPSC background, and what was your answer? How was it?
Sir, fortunately, this whole I had this 2 or 3 days for the phase one, 10 days for this phase two. But this was an inverted thing for me because I had around a month for an interview to prepare. So uh, yes, sir. So we made a small group of 4 people. They had UPSC background. Some of the friends which I knew, and we used to conduct mock interviews for each other. We used to select one topic. Say for one day we selected NABARD's annual report, other day current affairs, the next day respective biodata. So we used to discuss on these things. We used to frame questions. We used to ask. We used to grill each other. So that the this interview preparation was very systematic for me. Uh, we went through this and we used to correct each other, not just because interview is not just about, telling things. It is about how the way you tell things. So we worked on it, and fortunately the interview was also in online mode. So this technical glitches we get, or all these things, we were quite aware of it. How to ask, how to ask for a pardon. These all things that helped us a lot, sir. And regarding the interview, the D-Day, I would say, I was very cool on that day because I had nothing to lose. Uh, uh, matlab, because yes, uh, preparation was good, interview wala, and also I had the previous experience of UPSC interview, CAPF and EPF also. So so yes, sir, this all helped me
कुछ
somehow.
उन्होंने
All
पूछा था अक्षय, कुछ उन्होंने यूपीएससी रिलेटेड, बिकॉज एक डर रहता है यूपीएससी कैंडिडेट्स को कि हम वहां जाएंगे, दे विल आस्क अस अबाउट यूपीएससी बैकग्राउंड, एंड फिर वो सही डायरेक्शन में नहीं जाएगा. बिकॉज थोड़ा सा भी ये मैसेज में है कि थोड़ा यूपीएससी के प्रति रुझान रहने पे उनको लगता है कि नहीं ये बंदा निकल जाएगा. एट्रिशन रेट के चलते नाबार्ड में एट्रिशन रेट काफी ज्यादा है, तो थोड़ा वो कम मार्क्स देते हैं. तो थोड़ा यूपीएससी रिलेटेड कोई क्वेश्चनिंग हुए थे आपके इंटरव्यू में ऑफिशियल?
नहीं सर, क्योंकि मेरा बायोडेटा ही कुछ थोड़ा सा अलग सा था. आई वाज फ्रॉम चंद्रपुर, सो दे आस्क्ड मी अबाउट नक्सलिज्म. They asked me, my mother, she works for a self-help group. So they asked me about the SHG bank linkage program. So they asked me about biodata. UPSC didn't came. They asked the first question, why do you want to join the public services? So public, I told this, but they didn't went into the gap years or the my UPSC background.
Fortunate enough. So, my last question to you, Akshay. See, there are a lot of things to do for this examination, and candidates are doing also as per their potential. But practically, what would you say that 2, 3 things they should not do for not only this examination, because of your lot of experience with UPSC, they should not do 2, 3 things for any examination.
Sir, the first thing is there is a myth in any competitive exam. These are perfection and completion. If you are in a competitive world, you must not try to perfect it or complete everything. You won't be able to do that.
Right.
So you just have to be you just have to outperform others, like I said it. You just have to give your best. So that is the first thing. Secondly, I would say that the market of materials and information has grown by leaps and bounds. You must know what not to read rather than what to read.
Great, very good.
And so, thirdly, I believe that you must know, after years of failures and this, you must have that resilience. You must have belief in the process and also belief in the institutions, but and moreover the belief in yourself. It must not be shattered. As an aspirant who has failed so many times in the civil services, I would say that just don't no don't let your heart out. मतलब, just hold on to the process, trust yourself, trust the process, I would say.
राइट, अगर मेहनत कर रहे थे एक ना एक दिन तो कहीं ना कहीं तो क्लिक करना ही।
आप कुछ ना कुछ तो कर ही लोगे, मतलब आप प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो शिद्दत से तो कुछ ना कुछ कर ही लोगे. नाउ आई आल्सो स्टार्टेड as a faculty teacher in Pune University. So कहीं ना कहीं कुछ ना कुछ तो हो ही जाता है. You must not lose your heart, I would say.
Right, very good and very positive message by Akshay. So that's it, Akshay, for carving out your time and letting know how you should proceed, especially for those UPSC candidates, that how you can collaborate with the process and try to crack different examinations as well.
Yes.
Thank you, Akshay, very much for your time.
Thanks a lot.